Hello everyone and welcome to Attic Gaming Club episode 6.
Disney.
As you can tell, we had Dave with us today.
Yay.
And Tom.
Hello.
And yeah, hi, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So,
they're not here.
Well, they're here in spirit. And they could be here because we're live streaming for once.
Live stream.
Although none of you will know about this because we've not publicised it. So, in the future we're going to be live streaming, so we're just working out the tech at the moment. But it seems to be working alright. I
think we should do an official live stream announcement in the form of a song that isn't Countdown. For example, live stream, it's the stream of your life. Like that.
It's live, not live.
What? The same do now it's live stream, I've changed it.
Live stream.
Live stream.
That's from Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, it is. It's also probably another word for we, but well.
Live stream. How strong is your live stream?
It was pretty strong after that number 10 curry we had. Anyway.
Ooh. Anyway, cool. Okay, yeah, so welcome. So, yeah. What's everyone been up to?
I don't know. What have you been up to? Why don't you start, Adam? What have you been up to?
We can start news if we want.
Yeah.
Let's go with news. Go on, Tom. What news have you got?
Only Warhammer Fantasy related. The tickets for South Coast Grand Tournament went on sale. 160 places available. Sold out about 147 tickets in the first minute.
Wow.
By 10 minutes gone, there were over 260 tickets sold within 10 minutes.
But there was only 160 places?
Yeah. Basically what happened was, because it's such a big event and everyone wants to get a ticket for it, he didn't release the payment information that far in advance. What he instead said was, at 7 o'clock on this Wednesday just past, I will post up a thread with the payment details and you send a deposit for each person. You could pay for multiple people as long as you put their names down. So you had, at 2 or 3 minutes to 7, virtually the entire UK tournament scene sat behind a computer waiting to send in a payment.
It's like sniping an eBay auction.
Pretty much,
tournaments.
Yeah. I got mine in, people were sort of comparing what time they got theirs, and I got mine in at 7 o'clock and 46 seconds. It would have been quicker, but I didn't realise PayPal timed out. So I had it open from about 6:30, went to go and pay. I was like, PayPal is timed out. Cube mass panic. So it's meant to be so obviously people an armour reserves list. He says he wants to try and increase the entrance up to 180, maybe even into the 200s, which would be pretty awesome.
Where does it take place?
In Horndean near Portsmouth.
What is the venue?
It's a tech college, I think.
Okay. So is there space, do you think, for that many people? Because how many can Warhammer World support?
Less. But
really?
It's a big room he's got there, and I remember there is quite a bit of space in there. It's about 160 players each year, and that was pretty comfortable last time I was there. So I reckon you could probably squeeze it up to 180, probably, maybe 200.
Yeah, Warhammer World only, I think, each of the table you can get like 4 people on, can't you? And there are a lot of tables, but I don't think there's 90 odd. 90, what am I doing? Where's my maths? Like 45 tables or whatever.
There's a lot there. Each time I've been there, though, they've never had them all in use.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you think about the last and pretty much only tournament we went to.
Yeah. Which was fun.
We had, 20, 30 people? And we only took up one row at the end.
Yeah.
It was the row facing the stage.
Was everyone always playing, though?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And Warhammer must be the same size, because the last tournament I went to, they had 140 fantasy players.
Yeah, I reckon they could probably fit 200, as you say. Maybe they don't have 200 fantasy boards, maybe they don't have enough, space for 200 people consecutively, but I feel like it would be big enough to support that many players. Has he got enough scenery for 200 people?
You take your own scenery. You have to take 4 pieces of scenery.
Really?
That's what the charts were about on the link you gave.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to take, and in an effort to standardise for tables and stop games being made into a non-event, you have to take a hill, a forest, and a building. And then you get to take 1 piece from a list he put down, which was basically those 3 again, a fence, a piece of impassable terrain, or a marsh.
Okay.
And then it has set layouts. And then it has set places where it will go on each board.
Okay.
Which are cool. I
suppose it adds a bit of a metagame around planning your strategy for the maps.
Yeah, I quite like some of the maps. They seem quite good for me. They try and funnel people into the centre, whereas my army loves being able to just go in a corner. Well, not quite in a corner, not as bad as some armies, but I like to start in the corner and then sort of sweep across.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so those tickets sold out extremely quickly. I managed to get the deposit down for people I was paying for, which was brilliant. A lot of people quite disappointed about not getting tickets, but there'll be I'd imagine 20 or 30 dropouts.
Yeah.
Just because people would rather have a ticket now
and not need it,
rather than leave it till later and then try and get one.
Gotcha. And when's the tournament?
It's the weekend of it's like the 10th to the 14th of April. There's a weekend within that date time, and it's then. I think the 13th and 14th.
Gotcha. And how much are tickets?
They were £25, which is fairly standard. Sure. And the ticket prices tend to be about £25 to £30 in the UK on the independent scene, unless you go to Games Workshop tournaments, at which point they'll charge you £55 or £60 and give you less and less games.
Crazy.
But that's just GW standard policy, isn't it? As long as they continue to sell out their own tournament, they must be doing something right, even though they're not.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, nice. Well,
so yeah, that's.
Congrats on getting your tickets.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's the only bit of news I had. So clearly, fantasy in the UK is not as dead as everyone would like to make out it is.
Who makes out it's dead?
People on the internet who are stupid.
Fuck people on the internet.
Somebody's wrong on the internet.
Launch the troops. Nice. I see you got out some models there, Dave.
No, I haven't.
What have you got out?
News just in. I brought some models that aren't Warzone models, that are actual Necromunda models.
Dun, dun,
and by Necromunda models, I mean that they're GW. It's the cultists from the Warhammer 40k Vengeance. Is it Vengeance? No, wait.
Dark
Vengeance. There we go.
These are quite cool.
Which worked out perfect for me because of all the chapters, I quite like Dark Angels, and I also like Chaos. So I got everything, and the cultist models are all pretty awesome and spectacular for Necromunda gangs as well.
These are really some quite nice sculpts.
And they're
amazing.
Perfect for Necromunda.
The heavy stubber guy has a variant which has a flamer. So there's actually two of him. There's one with a flamer and one with that. So you get two guys. All of the other guys have two of each. So I've got that lot again. And then you've got the two leader models which are unique. So you get a good really 20 odd models, I think, total.
Nice.
It's perfect for an Ash Waste gang because they've all got masks on, so they kind of make up the respirators fluff. Or also perfect for a Chaos Cultist gang, or even Semi-Caldor or Redemptionist. They would suit those if you hide up the scars with a bit of conversion or something.
Yeah, they're really nice models.
They're excellent sculpts, nice poses.
Will they click together or are they single piece?
Click together. Like that guy, I think he goes together across the chest, so he's got his torso up to the middle of his chest, and then
I see the line.
Like a bisection down the top. They'll go together really well.
Very cool, very
they
cool.
Are very nice.
So
that's my news. My news is I brought models. Woo! No, just got
not news, but I'm happy nevertheless.
I'd kind of want more of them so I can convert a few of them, but I don't want to.
I'm sure you'd be able to find them broken up on eBay, like
sets
maybe broken down.
Then I can make a couple of custom ones. Like I've got a gunfighter dude, so I want to give him 2 pistols and things like that.
Nice. I think aren't GW selling them as a set?
They are.
But are they the same models?
Yes, I think you get a selection. You either get the close combat guys or the gun guys, because that's how they're split up in the box as well. So you've got one sprue which has all the guys holding an auto gun or similar, the heavy stubber and the leader with a shotgun, and then you've got one guy with the dude with the axe, and all the other dudes have got like a flail or a club and a pistol.
Okay.
So they're split up like that.
That's pretty sweet.
I can't remember the price, but it seems alright. They obviously cotton on to the fact that everyone loved them after they released Dark Vengeance and hey, can we buy these separately? And that's what eBay were doing. So nice. GW released them as their own box.
Excellent. Yeah, very nice models.
Yeah, cool.
Very nice.
I recommend them.
Excelente. No news from me. Mainly because I've done nothing.
I don't think I've got any news. We can move on to what we've done recently.
Sure,
and
go for it.
Incorporate that into the news. And last weekend, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I went to see a friend from uni, and we had a muchos grandiose board gaming weekend of fun.
How was that?
It was good fun. We played Settlers of Catan, which was cool, mainly because I showed him all the things he was doing wrong, like having your hands out in the open for everyone rather than hidden and stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's...
We also played Among the Stars, which you really enjoyed. And the new games to me were Pirates Cove, which I really enjoyed. It's kind of a Sid Meier's Pirates light, or if you've played Merchants and Marauders, again, a light version of that. Okay. You have a little count, you've got a board with some islands around the outside, and each one lets you upgrade a certain part of your ship, and then during each turn you select a secret destination, and if you end up at the destination without anyone else, then you get the treasure that's printed on the card for that turn, and you can upgrade your ship. If you land somewhere with someone else, then you have to fight, and one of you flees, and you have a certain number of cannons, and that's how many dice rolls you get, but the person with the biggest sails gets to go first, and blah blah blah. So it's semi-tactical in what you upgrade first to how you play, and there are a couple of like NPC pirates going around as well. You get 12 turns, so that's 12 times to go to each island to get stuff, and then at the end it's the person with the most VPs or banked gold, I think. It's good fun. By the same company that did Small World, I think Days of Wonder they're called.
Okay.
Pirates Cove, that was good fun.
Nice.
And I also played... introduced my friends to Last Night on Earth, which is one of my favourite games.
Yeah, that's a good game.
The zombie games. Good solid game, lots of fun.
Very good game. You played that, Tom?
No, I haven't.
It's a good game. Zombie
Yeah.
tactical game.
It's cool.
Different missions each time. You have to kind of explore, get items.
You can
work
play it
together as
fairly
a team.
quickly as well, so
Yeah,
I
if
could
you know what
probably
you're
bring
doing.
that around one evening. I mean, I know
Sounds good.
most of the rules back inside out, backwards, top to bottom, whatever.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I think we played something else, but I can't remember what it was at the moment.
Nice.
Formula D, that was it.
Oh yeah, Formula D. That's a good game.
So, yeah, I took a lot of games around it. I think we spoke about Formula D before.
Excellent. Eh?
So that was my weekend, and then during the week, not much. I almost did some painting yesterday, but then I decided to get all my airsoft kit ready instead. But that's another
Nice.
story.
That's another podcast again. Tom, what have you been up to?
I have painted the Tree Man Ancient.
Yay!
I got last week. I'm not sure if I need to do a little bit more highlighting on it. There are some pictures on Twitter already. There'll be more going up. My Twitter account at TMA Richards. Follow me there, look at pictures. Let me know what you think. I've kept it nice and simple, and to be honest, it looks better than anything else in my army, so I probably shouldn't have put as much work as I did into it.
Let me guess. Brown and green.
No, mainly just brown.
Oh, really? No
brown up into sort of grey white.
No foliage.
No, Bond didn't actually have any on him.
Oh, okay. That explains the lack of green.
What do you do his chest thing? Because he's got like a
He's
stone.
he's
or
got a
something,
big
isn't
rock
he?
in his chest. I just did that as a fairly generic rock. I'm sort of tempted to try and do a sort of reddish glow coming out of the centre.
Does
to
it
try
have rune or something on it?
Yeah, it's got a rune in the centre, but I think a reddy glow could be beyond my ability, while I just make it end up looking awful. So, for the moment, I'm just going to leave it. It looks fine as it is. It's definitely above tabletop standard, which is all I ever really aim for.
Cool.
So that's cool. And I played one game of fantasy on Thursday, which was against a dwarf army, which is probably my worst matchup because Treemen don't like flaming magical war machines who wound me on a 2+ and then do d6 wounds, and those wounds are doubled because I'm flammable.
Is this with your new tournament list?
Yes, well, it's a variation on it because the chap who I was playing is going to Sheffield Slaughter, which is on this weekend.
Okay.
So he wants to practice a game for that. So I think he's going anyway. Anyway, people out down who I went to Odd Games Player, people who are down at that club are going to Sheffield, so I took a Sheffield list down just whoever I played against when I would be able to get a practice game in. So it's a slight variation on my standard list, and it's a good list. Took a small loss. The BSB got cannon sniped, which is always a pain.
Ooh.
Right, need a 2-up from not to get hit by the cannonball. 1 wounded, dead. Every time. Every time. And back then I lost a lot of points from fleeing off the board and not rallying, and the Tree Man Ancient running off, and Treeman just... it's pretty harsh, and I've got 900 points on offer for his war machines.
Did you run all 3 treatment then?
Yes,
okay.
took all 3 Treemen and pushed them straight at him, and got 2 of them into combat, which is what I wanted. That's why I've got 3 for redundancy.
Yeah.
It's a good list. I think I'm going to get better with it as the year goes on. Liking that. So, painted for Tree Man Ancient, played 1 game of fantasy, and that is everything I've done since last week.
Pro tip, if you don't want your stuff to die really quickly because it's flammable, don't play armies with flaming stuff. Or don't be flammable. Either is good.
Yeah, that is good.
That is sound advice, Dave.
There you
Something
go.
the
That's what I'm here
listeners
for.
can really, build on. Excellent. Okay, cool. Well,
What have you done?
I've done nothing.
Good. Next.
Actually, I'll tell a lie. Since we literally last did the podcast, we should mention and segue into our next
yes.
section. We did actually play a game of Necromunda that evening.
Oh, we did, didn't
Well,
we?
you
We
say
didn't cover
evening,
that
it was
on the-
more that morning, so
You're right.
at around 1:30, 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, after the last game, so we talked about the Squat minor gangs in our last podcast, and we've done some fixes, and we're trying to play test it, and kind of tweak the fixes and narrow it down, see if we can bring them more into line with the standard gangs in Necromunda.
I've got a fix for you. Ban the melt gun.
Just because you got melted in the face.
Shut up.
So I it was a 3-way game where we were basically just kind of hunting for
loot counters.
Loot counters. This seems to be our default.
If we can't think of a scenario, let's just play that.
Can't be bothered to roll something. There's more than 2 players. Let's play for loot counters. And it was interesting. We came up with some interesting information on that gang in particular.
Yes, we did.
Well, the first bit of information is apparently Tom has dwarf seeking weapons.
Yeah, we were saying that the toughness 4 is a really good boost. I got round up by just rolling lots and lots of 5-ups to wounds.
I don't think you ever failed to wound.
Didn't.
I had a couple of times
Every
where
time
I just
shot you,
pinned
it failed.
Maybe. I think there was one guy that was kind of hanging around on the floor that maybe you flamed him once and he was okay.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Flamers aren't too fast. So just need a 4-up. You hide them behind a wall. Nah.
Yeah. But that was interesting. But something we did notice, obviously, or I noticed, that movement 3 is killer.
It is. I felt it gave me we had sort of Adam was sort of stuck between Dave on one side and then myself on the other, and both of us sort of went after him because that's where the loot counters tend to work, like the directions they were made us go at you. And we sort of left for 2 in between.
You just couldn't get anywhere, could you?
Yeah. Like for 1 or 2 between Dave and myself, we just kind of looked at and thought, nah, that's too open. Let's go for these ones. So what it meant was, one between Adam and I was in this little patch of open ground with sort of little obstacles around it, but nothing you could really hide behind. So I was pretty happy just sort of standing, hiding nearby it, because I knew that if I wanted to, I could run out and get it faster than Adam could run out and get it.
So it'd take Adam a good 3 turns to get almost there, then grab it, and then get almost back.
Pretty much. And because Adam doesn't have the same ranged capability that I had in my gang, he couldn't sit back and sort of chip away and wait to hit the people who were hiding in hard cover. So we had to go out, at which point I ran out with overwhelming firepower and a flamer, which is really good because one of the best things about dwarves is getting around their low initiative. To get back up again, they get to re-roll the initiative test, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what it meant, with my flamer, you had to spread out so you didn't have anyone within 2 inches, which meant you weren't able to try and take those initiative tests to get back up. So the plan was sort of, I don't mind if I don't wound you, just as long as I hit you and pin you and you've got no one within 2 inches to get up again. As it happened, I just kept rolling really well to wound. So.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think, I've never played an army like that. All my armies tend to be quite quick. I play Skaven in Fantasy. I used to play Nids in 40k.
Yeah.
Play Escher in
my Escher gang.
All about getting into combat.
Agility and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm almost like not really sure how to play a force. So I think that's something that's going to take me some getting used to. And and I equipped some guys up for combat, and I equipped some guys up with sort of medium range shotguns and some guys with auto guns. And I just don't think that's the way these guys need to be run. I think they do need to have longer range fire. I think they need to have that kind of typical dwarf, almost like a wall of armour, slowly moving forward, just shooting as it goes.
And then you've got the ferocity skills to back you up, so that if someone does get into combat, you can dispatch them quite quickly with maybe a more powerful hit than lots of fancy combat stuff.
So at first glance, obviously I didn't win that game. Even though I had like higher leadership and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think that anything was particularly broken.
My face was broken because you melted it.
That's true, I did melt it. Was it your leader?
Yeah, it was my leader.
Yeah, I melted Dave's leader's face off.
Speaking of that fight specifically, I took advantage of your movement then because I put someone just inside the 8-inch range to get the +2 bonus on a pistol, but then you were outside of charge range, which normally wouldn't be the case. So
correct.
I knew that you couldn't then charge. But then you shot him with a flamer or something as well. So
I got no flamers. It
might have been melter gun, something that was hot and hurt.
It might have been man-stopper shotgun shells or something. But yeah, I mean it's an interesting gang. I'm looking forward to playing more games with it and trying to work out, what balances might need to happen. So after that game, quickly moving on to the after battle sequence. So I got some level ups, mainly because my gang had such a horrifically low gang rating compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
So I did get quite a few level ups actually. I got one of my regular guys went up to leadership 9. So if you weren't listening last week, they start with leadership 8. But technically, as written, they start with leadership 9, but we bumped that down to leadership 8. But he went back up to leadership 9 anyway. So yeah, I got that. One guy got strength up and toughness up, which gives him a strength of 4 and a toughness of 5. So I might have to give him some sort of closer range weaponry so I can kind of throw him forward. As much as the toughness 4 wasn't really playing much of a part in the last game, toughness 5 is definitely going to play a part because you'll now roll 6s to wound on most weaponry, and even 5s with like heavy weapons and stuff, you know? Some heavy weapons. So I think that might help. Another guy got medic skill. My leader got hip shooting, which is kind of cool, so now he can run and shoot his
when you say run, you mean briskly walk.
Yeah. Run slightly faster than everyone else can walk and shoot his metal gun. Somebody got initiative 3 and somebody else got ballistic skill 4. And a Juve got weapon skill 3. And I got a medic. So yeah, you know, moving up slowly.
Yeah.
Anyone else had anything cool that happened after their games?
Yeah, I had one ganger who got her second ballistic skill upgrade, so she's now ballistic skill 5.
Nice.
And she either already had or else rolled up marksman, which basically takes the short range of your weapon and then adds it on again to the maximum range of the weapon. So I've then bought her a bolt gun, swapped out that for her las gun. So a bolt gun normally has a 24-inch range. Because of her marksman skill, she has a 36-inch range on a bolt gun. So she can effectively now hit just about anything on the board. And with ballistic skill 5, she's going to be hitting anyone that's in soft cover on a 3+ from across the board, essentially, or in cover on a 4+.
Excellent.
And I bought a Mung Vase, which...
Ming Vase.
Yeah, I got quite lucky. I think I managed to get it for only 10 credits.
Well, you haven't rolled on it yet because you've got to wait till the next game.
I haven't rolled it yet because you have to wait till the next game afterwards. If my leader dies in whatever we do tonight, I'll be greatly saddened.
Just because you're going to lose a vase. Not because you lose your leader.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to lose 10 creds of a vase.
Pretty much.
Nice.
That's just about everything that happened with mine. I think I bought some flak armour for my leader after we reduced it, so like 7 credits and whatever. I can live with that, 7 or 10 credits. And that's pretty much everything I can remember that happened. The gang's just ticking along nicely, lots of ballistic skill upgrades, got an extra attack on my leader. My leader went up to leadership 9, that was the other big thing.
Oh, that's good.
So my leader now is capped at the best leadership he can get as a human, which is the same as Adam's starting leadership on his leader. And in fact, it's meant to be on the gangers before we dropped it down.
Yeah.
But leadership 9 is pretty good.
That's always good though.
Yeah.
Getting your leader to jump to leadership 9 is like the
no
best.
Challenges.
Exactly. You never have to worry about anyone challenging your gang at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's probably the best thing that your leader can get as a bonus early in the game. Because it just solidifies his
standard
leadership.
gangs, he only needs it once as well, because you get leadership and you start 8, then you jump up to 9, you're sorted.
That's it, done. Yeah. So Dave, what happened to you after the game?
Today, well, apart from getting mashed, I say mashed, I just failed a bottle roll really quickly, that was all.
Yeah.
I didn't actually take a lot of injuries, fortunately.
Apart from being melted.
I got melted, but I didn't actually take any serious injuries, which was alright. I don't think I got any skill ups either. I might have got a couple.
Buy anything?
No, it was the usual crap for the Outlanders. I think I got offered some stummers and some silencers and some spook, or one of the not spook, the other one, the really good necrotic slime.
That's the injury removing one.
Is it? No. You're thinking of a patch or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Maybe.
Necrotic Slime's the one that gives you like +2 on all your stats, and it doubles one of the others to up to 10.
That's one.
And you only have a bad side effect at the end if you roll a 1 on a d6.
It's like if you can't remove it or something, isn't it? Yeah.
Because it goes into your brain and attaches, and if you roll a leadership or a 1 at the end of the game, you die. But otherwise, you're fine and you don't have any addictions.
I remember that.
It's my favorite. I used to use it a lot in my old games, but a bit more attached to this one, so I don't think I'm gonna.
Worry
about it.
Sitting in your stash, Dave.
Which?
That number.
274.
Is that how many creds you have in your stash?
Yes.
That's dirty. Why do you have so many creds in your stash?
Because the game before last, I rolled a 6 on the Ash Waste Nomad chart, which is basically a d6 times 5 or times 10 against the number of gangers you have. So I just sent all of them there. So I got 10 d6 times 10 creds or something, and because I only have to pay 20 to survive, everything else is profit. Whereas other people have their whatever.
That is dirty. So what are you going to buy with your 274 creds?
Well, I was thinking of adding a heavy with a flamer, but I might see what I get in the outlaw chart after this game. Yeah. Maybe save it for some funky weaponry or whatever, and then if not, I'll get another heavy after that, because I've got a stubber at the moment. So.
Nice. 274, you could get another heavy with a heavy stubber.
I could. That would be pretty rude. Although last game it did me 0 good because Tom.
Well, you sort of moved out of the open.
I did.
We did have another
other side of the table, and there were, but it was aiming at him though, not you. I thought that was a bit rude, to be honest. But hey, that's how the game goes.
ganging up on the new gang. I don't know.
Yeah, leadership 1 million and toughness 5 billion.
A lot of good it did me.
Did you fine against me? So I got 2 74 credits. Let's see how they go. Actually, I did go to a gambling den and lost, so that was probably 10 or 20 credits higher before the game started. But I've obviously got money to waste.
Excellent.
That's about it. My game rating is currently sitting at 1682.
Nice.
Isn't too bad.
Nice. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean,
Cool
as
beans.
we mentioned earlier, we're going to play another game today, so probably going to do a 3-way game just to, keep it fresh, get everyone involved. I refuse to do another loot counter game, though. We're going to find a different...
Sure. Didn't you say there's one which has loads of monsters and stuff running around?
Yeah, we could try that one. We'll have
a thing to sort out.
But yeah, so we're playing Necromunda gang, so I'm going to, rock up the squat miners again. Dave's going to sit there with his ash waste with the actual models this time, not stand-ins.
Yeah, but the stand-ins were painted, so it's one or the other. You get grey actual models or stand-ins that are painted.
Warzone stand-ins of random different model types.
Yeah.
I tried to fit them as well as I could. Yeah, anyway.
And Tom and his Delaque.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, well, yeah. So we're going to go away and play this game. You guys can listen to a song, and we will be back shortly, give you an idea of how it all went. And
it's like time dilation, isn't it? They listen to a song for 5 minutes and we play a game for an hour and a half. Or whatever.
Just think, in like 4 minutes' time, you'll be in the future.
Yeah.
We'll still be playing.
It's crazy.
Dun dun dun.
That bombshell.
Ugh.
Got it.
Jeremy Clarkson and Countdown. Awesome. So yeah, enjoy this song, and we will catch you guys in a bit. Bye bye. Love you. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Attic Gaming Club podcast.
Oh, hi.
So we've just finished playing our game. We went for the Necromunda Purge scenario, which was in the original Outlanders book.
Also known as Crazy Balls.
It was pretty crazy balls.
It was, yeah.
So, quick rundown for those of you that have never played or heard this scenario. So essentially, it should be run with an like a independent third party.
Kind of a GM.
Kind of a GM, basically, because it involves lots of random creatures that pop out of the woodwork So, but what we did was we basically just came up with some rules to dictate how the creatures would react in any given situation. So they would always run towards the nearest enemy. Otherwise, they would run towards the nearest board edge if there was no one. And the other players, sort of, when there was...
for most players, whoever was least affected by it thought, what would I do if this was my model in this situation?
Exactly. So it prevented us from sort of abusing it and, just putting the creatures out there for killings.
Although you tried a few times.
No, I was just trying to eat you with a giant spider.
That's true.
So essentially, yeah, so the game rundown is basically there are piles of playing cards that are face down across the board. And the objective is that our gangs have to go in and clear the area. So they have to reveal these cards, which will reveal basically pools of scum or mutants or creatures. And then we have to kill them to sort of wipe clean or purge the area.
And we get money depending on what it is that we kill.
Exactly, but we don't know what it is until
amount of money.
Yeah, but you don't know what it is until you reveal it. So, some of the highlights in what we revealed were things like packs of rats, millosaurs, gigantic spiders, ripperjacks, some mutants, some beastmen, and a gene stealer.
Yeah.
That Tom revealed, which was always nice.
That came down to Tom drawing an ace and going, "Ooh, I wonder if it'll be a gene stealer," and then rolling the dice.
Fortunately,
yay, it's a gene stealer.
Fortunately, it was only one gene stealer.
It should have been D3 gene stealers.
Yeah,
and it was D3 gene stealers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was the best possible outcome. And even that gene stealer managed to munch one of your guys.
What essentially happened was it ran towards me, and I thought, okay, we'll just scatter. I just ran everything out of line of sight, shot all the other bits off, so it was just the gene stealer. And then Adam eventually managed to corner me with it, and I thought, I can either run people out of the way or I can just try and take it down. So I had my heavy stubber, and a ganger with a bolt gun, and my leader with his bolt pistol, and two gangers each with two las pistols each, and another ganger also with a las pistol, and I did absolutely fucking nothing to it. Just unleashed hell, and not a single fuck was given by the gene stealer.
It was a combination of the fact that it moved over 10 inches, you had that -1 to hit it, and also we had the treacherous condition, which was windy, which was another -1.
And also because it's a gene stealer, it ignores being pinned.
Yeah, so I think you pinned it.
I managed to get a wound through, which then became a flesh wound, which due to the scenario it ignores.
Yeah.
So I get the experience of a wounding hit, but it essentially does nothing when it should knock it over or drop its stats. And the next unwelcome surprise came when it then charged one of my people. And Adam promptly rolled a pretty horrendous roll on the dice, like 4 attacks and rolled 2 fumbles, which is if he rolls a 1, I get to add 1 to my combat score.
This is brilliant.
And I rolled like a 6, and something else. I was like, yeah, I rolled really well. Adam, what's your total?
Yeah, which it was 14, even with the 2 fumbles.
Yeah, I was distinctly unimpressed.
Which gave you how many hits? Like 4, 5, 6?
5, I think it was in the end. I think
was...
you got a 9. Yeah. So I got 5 hits, so he just minced
Tom's
that guy.
near best against the Gene Stealer's almost worst ended up with the Gene Stealer still getting 5 hits against you.
It was pretty horrendous.
Strength 5, or Strength 6, I think it is.
Strength 6.
It's just...
Tom, what toughness are you? It doesn't matter, I'm wounding you on a 2. Oh.
Unless you're a magical creature, like my SWAT.
Speaking of magical creatures...
Yes.
And the rat...
Yeah, so I flipped a bunch of cards in the centre of the table, and it was like a millosaur and a rat, so I wasn't that bothered.
And you had your whole gang standing there looking
and
at
I pretty much had my whole gang. They all unleashed hell on it, promptly missing everything. I think I took the millosaur down.
You did.
But the rat remained standing.
It was between the two of us as well. We each, between us, we had almost nigh on... I wouldn't say a dozen, but at least like 8 or 9 people standing by it shooting at these 2 creatures.
They are quite small, that's why you missed.
Must be, yeah.
But yeah, so they missed, so I was like, whatever. So I deliberately positioned one of my guys closer, the one that triggered the event, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the guy. And the rat ran in, I lost combat by 2 or 1.
2.
And then I was like, quite cockily said to Tom, well, that's my toughness 5 guy, so you need a 6 to wound. Of course, Tom then ran a 6.
And took your fighter out of action.
And took my fighter out of action.
From a rat.
A rat killed the toughest the squats have to offer.
Yeah.
So I was distinctly unimpressed
should have put the rat against the Gene Stealer, see what happened. Probably would have
Yeah, the rat would have done better than your entire gang shooting it.
The Gene Stealer fortunately eventually just got shot in the back of the head by a gang. I was just so much shooting eventually going into it, and it was threatening to overwhelm me because then the turn after that, another event appeared behind me, which was another gigantic spider. Which took out one ganger, then my leader promptly ran and just basically cut it in half over 2 rounds with his power sword.
Yeah.
It's like, right, no.
Yeah, that was
it's
pretty
the 4 wounds and a 5-up save on those that was trouble for me because I only had strength 3 weapons, auto pistols all round, apart from my plasma pistol, which missed, so I had to recharge that.
And the chitinous armour on it,
yeah,
deflecting your
the
blows.
5-up, it did. I think the first 4 wounds I got in it saved 3 of them, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I took it down eventually. My leader came up and smacked him on the nose, and he ran away.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. So what did you guys think of the scenario?
I would enjoy it.
Really
It needs
liked
tweaking.
it. I think it does need tweaking. What we did was we went through it once and we're like, well, that was really uneventful. Other than the Gene Stealer popping up and me basically playing hide and seek with it in my sort of corner of the boards, nothing really happened. So what I did was, well, if you turn over a red card, you just get rid of it, like nothing happens. So what I did was, from the ones we'd sort of put off to one side as nothing really happened, I put all those black cards back into what was left of the deck and took all the red ones out, then shuffled that back and redealt it, so you had something like 2 black cards for every one red.
Yeah.
And at that point, it just kind of went. That's when it started getting a bit
We
insane.
got 2 gigantic
Yeah.
spiders and some stuff in the middle, didn't we?
Yeah.
We also started dropping some of the less useful creatures, like because it basically it can be any
The sludge jelly and the lash
worms
weeds or whatever.
Yeah,
lash worms.
and we basically took them out of the running by ignoring the rolls for them, so we could only roll against creatures that, you know, had a chance of doing something like rats and millosaurs and stuff like that, and ignored all of the the stuff that if you don't go near it, it just doesn't do anything kind of thing. But yeah, I think, you know, with a bit of tweaking and just to make it sort of a bit more autonomous with no, you know, independent third party, I think, you know, it's quite a good mission.
So. What I think would work quite well is work up a new table, so it's not. It was something like 4 or 5 dice rolls to begin with to try and work out what it was going to be and how many it was. So to try and get that down to like 2, maybe maximum 3 dice rolls.
Yeah.
And what I quite like the idea of is you just work through the deck, and that's the length of the game. So you start off however many, and the idea I had was you roll a dice each turn, and if you roll over the number of active cards still on the table, so say you reveal like 4 beastmen and one of them is still alive, that card pile is still active. Mm-hmm. So we had like 9 on the table to begin with, so you can't activate it until 4 or 5 of them have gone, and then as soon as you roll over that, then you basically reload the table with where you put them in as many places as you can, and then just rinse and repeat, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Just so you've got like a steady flow, because at times it felt like it was a bit too easy. Kind of an event pops up, someone ambles their gang over, maybe like the one person closest to it gets eaten by a spider, but then that monster then gets his head blown off.
Yeah.
Because I felt we needed to have like, oh, they're behind me, they're in front of me, crap, it's going a bit wrong, and like actually some pressure on, which I didn't really feel like we had at times, because even with a Gene Stealer, it's one model, I can just move out of its line of sight.
Yeah.
I can see if the pressure did pile on a bit, you might get some gangs thinking about bottling voluntarily, even if they don't get forced to. And once one gang drops out, then things are going to change quite quickly if the other guys have got a lot to fight.
But I think rolls help. You know, it's like that one Gene Stealer. One was annoying, but if that had been 2, they could have worked together to kind of, you know, so you couldn't have run away, and you had a hard enough time dealing with one of them.
It took half your gang running away and repositioning to take down that guy.
Yeah.
So 2 would have been deadly.
Yeah. So I think we'd maybe not write up like a codified new scenario immediately, but like make some tweaks and play it again next week or week after, or what have you.
Yeah, I think so. But generally, I think it was quite a good.
Yeah, it was good fun. I like it.
Really
playing co-op as well is nice for a change.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. We could have gone for each other, but I think we each decided we didn't. I had a couple of times where I thought, quite tempted to go for you, but I need to get rid of this Gene Stealer first.
Yeah.
Because with my gang, with the Gene Stealer basically running around in my little building, people just running out into the open. I really didn't fancy starting a firefight when half my gang is standing in the open.
You don't need that.
No. We also haven't done our post game sequence yet because we're running a little bit short on time.
Yeah.
So we'll find a time over the weekend or early next week to do that.
Yeah. But roughly overall, I think I had 2 guys go out of action, and I got about 11 wounding hits across my whole gang.
I got 14, mainly because again my leader basically farmed for Spider, because he was never. I didn't think he was going to lose combat. He had 3 attacks. He had a higher weapon skill, so he got a load of wounding hits from that. And then things like small puddles of rubbishy people you just to take off in one turn, and there's 3 or 4 wounding hits, which is great. So I think the scenario, it has its downsides. Like once the pressure starts to build, but you get a lot of good stuff out of it.
Yeah. No, it should be interesting. As you say, a bit of tweaking. We have something playable.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think I also lost 2 guys and I only had like 7 wounding hits. which, again, using these squats, I found myself... I was fine dealing with the stuff that was near me, but as soon as I tried to come and help you guys, it was taking me turns and turns to get anywhere near you, and by that time you'd either lost the fight or dispatched it, sort of thing, so... Yeah, interesting. My high toughness, once again, does makes no difference.
Your high toughness is no match for my dice rolling.
Yeah, exactly. And my low movement is hindering me at every turn.
Yeah.
But there we go. But fun scenario. Good laugh. Cool. Well, that's our wrap up for today's game.
Rippity wrap.
Yeah. Don't know when we play next. Next week, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we can either hang on to our
live life on the edge. Who
game
knows?
and go over what we get and what we lose at the start of the next podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll roll it up over Skype or something and then update everyone. So it's a bit of a short one this week, guys. But hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. And again, as always, please feel free to leave us some comments or, do whichever. Obviously underneath this video on YouTube at Attic Gaming Club. Or you can Twitter us at Attic Gaming Club, get us on Facebook, Attic Gaming Club, or send us an email at atticgamingclub@gmail.com. I'm
sensing a theme there.
Well, I like to keep it consistent.
That's right.
So hope you enjoyed the game today, and please let us know what you think, and we will catch you later.
Bye-bye.
I enjoyed it, it was fun.